I'm Tom Johnson, Thomas Johnson, Antique Furniture Restoration in Gorham, Maine. This is a nice 18th century, mid-18th century chest on chest, and it's made of rift-cut oak, but the front section of this upper part is banded with figured walnut. What's happened is it's been a flood in the house with a broken pipe, so this thing got a lot of water damage to it. The veneered front, the banding, is loose, it's protruding in places. There are some pieces missing. I actually think I have that piece. We've got to check all that and glue it down. The front, you can see where the finish has been damaged somewhat. It seems to be discolored, it's not even anymore. And also here, where maybe water sat and the feet. I've also noticed some separation here in this case, so we got to bring that back together too. So basically I'm going to go over this whole piece looking for any repairs that need to be done, and then I'm going to refinish it. The first thing I'm going to do is take the drawers out one by one, remove the hardware, and check them to see if they need any re-gluing or repair. Now, this drawer seems okay. I don't see any movement. The drawer runners, the bottom sides of the drawers, seem like they're fine. It's been repaired in the past, I see, so that's fine. This drawer's good. Okay, so I'm stripping the cabinet now. I'm using regular varnish remover. I'll put on a coat, let it set. I'll scrape it down. Then I'll put on a light coat and scrub it with #1 steel wool to make sure it's really clean. And then I'll wash it with PSP. And then I'll wash it with a mixture, very light mixture of oxalic acid. Okay, it's all stripped now. So the next step is to sand it. I'm going to start by sanding this veneer facing on the front edge. Now, I normally don't use a block on antiques like this. I'm not trying to flatten them. But in this case, this veneer facing is so uneven and kind of buckled in places that we've glued down and things that I'm going to use a block. Now I've noticed that this molding on the side is protruding up a little bit. It's out of alignment. It's also got a little movement. And I think when the side of the cabinet shrunk up, the molding has stayed secured in the back, but it pushed forward and is pushing up. So what I need to do is loosen this, bring it back down into position here, and let it protrude out the back a little bit instead of the front. Yeah, you can see that someone glued this entire molding down, and that didn't help matters. When I reattach it, I'll glue it just in the front few inches here, and then the rest will be held on with the nails as it was originally. That nail pulled out. I may be able to reuse it, and the reason I pull it through is to not to damage the wood on this side. I had noticed before that the top of this cabinet was loose a little bit. It's dovetailed on here. And now that this molding is off, this is a good time for me to re-glue that. Okay, I'm going to reattach the molding now. I'm going to line it up with the other molding, a lot better than it was before. I'm going to apply glue to the joint and in this area here, and then I'm going to nail it, just as it was originally. And along the back part will just be nails, no glue. Okay, I've finished sanding the entire piece with 150, and now I'm applying the first coat of tung oil. Okay, the first coat is dried. Now I'm going to sand with 320. Then, the next step after that, I've got to touch up these areas of light wood. Alright, now I'm going to touch up all the areas that need it with some dye stain. And for some reason these two drawer fronts were a lot lighter than the drawers next to it, so I'm going to stain these now with a walnut oil stain. Alright, the third and final coat of oil has dried. I'm going to take some 4/0 steel wool and some paste wax, sort of rub it out with the wax, and the steel wool will just give it that super smooth. We wait about 20 or 30 minutes for the wax to dry, and then just buff it out. Alright, there we go. It's a really nice 18th century oak cabinet with the figured veneer banding around the drawers. We repaired all that banding, repaired the moldings, glued this together, did lots of repairs to the drawers, and then I refinished it with tung oil and wax. And I think it looks pretty good.